The Highland Hills tower the skies. But the shadows they cast draw the spirits near. After all,
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again one Friday night. We're back, yay! You know, there's a bit of an echo there, isn't there? You know, it's good to be back, and it's good to be joined by a team that obviously they couldn't make it the last time because they were in London looking for the Jack the Ripper, you know, and climbing into strange-looking beds that creak, you know.
Yeah.
Which is what
I still have bruises.
Yeah.
It was hard to get up
Lulu's
in bed.
choice there. If you're ever planning a holiday,
Yeah.
don't let the
Highly
landlord pick
recommended.
your accommodation. So tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about Ireland, and one of the most haunted countries in the world. We're going to be talking about fairies and goblins and elves and all these types of creatures that are unknown to Ireland. Aye, leprechauns. I can always remember my mum and dad used to say to me when I was a wee boy, there's a rainbow, there'll be a big pot of gold at the end of it, you know. I was just to try and get to it, but never get to it kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So how are yous two anyway? How are yous keeping?
Good.
Good.
Fit. Fighting fit. You know, could do a marathon right now. No, I'm joking.
Oh, I'm not. Yay! We'll time you. Run round the block 6 times.
As long as we got.
Welcome in, Dots. Welcome in, PWI. Welcome in,
It's
Iron
the
Fire.
chat's working for me tonight. I've got two. I've got the iPad open. I've got my phone open, and I've got the laptop on.
Hey, Sherry.
You know.
Welcome
But,
in,
if So Drew was telling us everybody about our shop and our potions that she makes, you know. So you remember, check that out, guys. If you're into like potions and lotions and
all read it.
love spells and God knows
Packaged.
Oh, deadly.
I can't reverse part.
What one's this? This one. Oh, that's psychic awareness.
There you go. You can point in there for me. But anyway, it's how is everybody in the chat? There's Iron Firehorse, there's PWI, there's Luna Rose.
Hey, Luna Rose.
God, there's actually quite a few tonight, actually.
Oh, there's Miss Sherry.
Welcome in, all my
There's
witchy
Sherry. Good to
sisters.
see Sherry. You know, yeah, you
I
used to
know
get me
that.
worried because my Mr. Colby about soon, she might put me in a jar.
Be careful.
I made her a new trailer. Did you
I've
see the
got
new
jars
trailer that I
here.
made?
I'll just show you a jar just now. All
I'm
packaged,
multitasking.
ready to get somebody in it.
Oh. Okay. Oh, we like them.
It's actually for self-love. It's for self-love.
Self-love.
Do you know what? Now I need to have a wee talk with Drew. I need to get something, but it has to be specialized. It has to be specialized for something.
Okay.
We should talk after.
I like a challenge.
And you got me kind of.
Is it a challenge?
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Is
Yeah.
it? As a special. Look at the did the vote. She's all quiet. She's just like a roast puppy. She's like.
Yeah. I'm getting in. I'm getting tuned in.
I'm getting tuned in.
I'm getting tuned in. Yeah.
You know.
Oh yes.
But I've actually been looking up kind of tales about Ireland and stuff. But Jenny, why don't you take it away and tell us about some of the mythical creatures of Ireland? Because there's that many.
There is. There's a lot. Yeah. And here I have my trusty iPad in front of me because I know I'm from Ireland and I know these things, but I'm not a historian. So I'm going to give you a wee bit. I know a little bit of everything.
See, that's like me. I know little. So that's why Christopher does the shows.
I'm not going to pretend that I know everything about everything. I know a little about everything. Yeah. I'd like to talk about fairies first. The fairy fort. And why they have them. And I am going to read a little bit out because it'd be better coming from the iPad than it would be from me.
Ew.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm eating my Parma violets. I'm all yours, as we would say.
As always. So I am going to say, in the Irish folklore, certain places called fairy trees or fairy forts hold the entrance to the magical world of fairies. People believe these mystical places are often marked by ancient trees or circular earthen mounds. And then so many times people would say, you know, would you go and live on one of them? And it is very highly disrespectful to live on a mound. Or like I said jokingly one time before that why not build a house on a mound? No, it's a no. I was told then, Jennifer, it's a no. So I was being big balls, Billy Brave Jenny to say yes, I would do it, but no.
Yeah,
it is highly disrespectful to do something like that. So there's names. I'm going through the names. There's a lot of them. I mean, how many mounds would there be in Ireland? Lulu. She's going to kill me for asking that question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. But like the more famous ones would be like, Nout and Doubt and Newgrange and things like that as well. So
we seen one, and we didn't get time to go up to it because it was torrential rain out. It was torrential rain. But we did see it, and it's not too far. So we would go out to it.
That's quite interesting to say that, because I was talking to an old man one day, and they used to work in Ireland, and this is going back to the early 60s. And he told me a story that when he was working with this work crew, they were putting like a road in, it was like a motorway, and they got to, as you say, a fairy mound.
Yeah.
And they actually went round about it.
Yeah.
They went round about it.
Yeah.
And the foreman was like, no, you're going round about this, we're not going through this, we're not going through this.
Yeah.
And why? Because these are just Scottish people. They're like, we'll just go through it. And they're like, no, do not go through it.
Tempt fate.
And they went round about it.
Aye, that's it. Do not
pitch that's near me. I'll actually show you, Jenny, the amount of rings on that field. I don't know why. Like, I'll actually should take pictures of it. It's just very unnatural looking. Huge amount of rings.
Wow.
Beside you, Lulu, it's all like mounds.
Big rings.
Well,
ring forts, like little, like on the. Now they cut through it and everything on the grass, but there's huge amounts of them. All just around, just big massive.
And they're
circles.
not mounds. Is it just on the grass, or is it?
Yeah, well, they used to call them like that, fairy rings as well.
I had one in my house. Well, when I was growing up, we have one large garden and one smaller garden, but there was always this darker grass ring in my house where I was growing up. And now that I found out recently is that they're going to bulldoze through that garden. And they're going to get rid of all of that. It could be something, it might not be anything. But if it's something, I hope to God it comes back and bite them in the arses.
What kind of things happen to somebody that actually disrespects something like that? What actually happens to
bad
somebody?
Luck.
Is it really bad luck? Is it like hauntings? You ever did an investigation at a fairy thing?
Oh, I know. A group in the UK did an investigation around a fairy fort, and it was just not okay. It wasn't cool. It wasn't funny. They dressed up in big black cloaks with the monk's hood over them, and they were walking up towards it. And I'm like, oh, the Lord Jesus! And they went towards this ring, and I just thought, okay, it was just bull crap. Bloody bull crap, and they made a joke, a mockery out of it, and these two people are still going in the paranormal field, and it's disrespectful. I mean, they can mock it, they can take a joke out of it, but just don't be disrespectful when you're doing it. Yeah.
See, about 9 minutes into this live, there was a weird orb flew out of the wall above.
If you say me,
Louise, I
have a daddy long legs. He's my friend.
I hate the things, man. I know I'm terrified of that. It's like a spider with wings.
Ashbourne.
I'm just keeping cool. He's just right
here.
Hi,
Lawrence.
Oh, Ashbourne to Swords Road. This is from Lawrence. Ashbourne to Swords Road in County Meath. Yeah, I'm in Drogheda, so I'm not too far from Ashbourne. It's only at the road from me. Yeah. As we always say in Ireland, it's only at the road.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But the Irish were very
That's
like they
interesting.
feared the fairies for years. Like
Yeah.
that changelings and all that if you did any wrong, that they would come at night and take your baby and change it for like that changeling, which would be a fairy baby basically. And
See, I've heard,
you could get
I've heard that.
possessed. Yeah, there's some mad stories. Yeah.
See, the Scottish folklore was obviously, Drew, you ken about the kind of fairy folklore in Scotland, but there's a place in Scotland I would like to go to, and it's near Skye. It's near the Skye Bridge, and it's actually the fairy bridge. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Drew?
the fairy pools.
Yeah, the fairy pools, and there's a castle there, and it's to do with the fairies. Basically, the fairy princess married the king at the time, but her father was the king of the fairies, and he says to them, he says to him, listen, my daughter can only stay with you 1 year, and she will give you a son. And that night she disappeared. She just disappeared off the face of the earth. Nobody could find her again. But she had that was 2 days after the baby was born. And the fairies gave the castle a flag, and they said, if you were ever in danger, raise this flag and we will come at your aid. And there was once it happened that they were going to be attacked, and they raised the flag, and they never got attacked. For some weird reason, the armies just went away. It's Jenny froze. Jenny, are you there?
No, the candles are twinkling.
I was listening. Am I frozen?
No, you're fine.
Was I okay?
Yes, that's weird.
That
happened the other night, didn't it? That happened the other night when we were doing it live.
Aye, that I was frozen. I'm wondering now, what do fairies want from humans? Fairies love shiny things, particularly things that no one else seems to want, like old buttons, charms, and paper clips. They don't like to have our human money. That is why they like to give it away, and when they collect your teeth. So shiny things. So when you go into, like today, you were in a forest, Chris, that you kind of ask for permission to go in. And so you bring a gift with you. So it's no money, because they do seem to take, your money for your teeth and so on, or they leave you money for teeth.
I leave gifts when I take.
Is that teeth?
It's for the camera.
In your own time,
for the camera. It's rose quartz. It's rose quartz. It's rose quartz, and every time I take to make, because I make ones, everybody. I don't know if you know that or not, but I leave a little bit of crystal.
Crystal, shiny things.
Yeah, I've got loads there.
Anything shiny, like. So now when we go Lulu, then we can bring shiny stuff with us.
Yeah. It's like you can leave like semi-precious. See, I've got them everywhere. I've got semi-precious gemstones. Well, that's rose quartz. Because you buy a big bag of them, and when you go into the woods and you take the trees, you cut them down. I say, can I have permission to take the wood? I promise it's only good will be used for these ones or whatever. And I leave some crystal rose quartz, or I'll leave some amethyst, or I'll leave some type of crystal for them.
Yeah, because I will be talking about the elementals as well, and they're linked to like the forests as well. But they were saying they're a bit different, of course, to the fairies, because the fairies have their own culture, like their own beliefs and things like that. But the elementals are a bit different. They're more like summoned and things like that. But they're
the protectors of the land and things.
See, I've heard that. I've heard you have to watch out for the. I've got a relation that stays in Ireland, and she was telling me the folklore, the what do you call it, the leprechauns, and what's that folklore? It's to do with bridges and hedges, or something to do with leprechauns. What is it? It's in Ireland. She was telling me about it, and it's this myth or something. You have to watch what you're doing. You have to pay respect when you drive over a bridge.
I've never heard of that.
I remember. I think I remember something about a bridge, but it's not coming to me.
I will look it up. I'm going to look it up.
It was something. It was a while ago. She told me. She says where she stood was very, very, very rural. I can't remember the name of the place. It's really rural, and she was told by the locals when she drove over certain bridges. Maybe it was because she was an incomer at the time. She hasn't enemies. She's lived there for
Hi,
10 years.
PPR.
But when she was an incomer at the time, the really old people, there was like one old woman that looked like she was 120, says, always pay respect when you come in and out of the village at the bridge, because they'll be waiting on you.
I'm looking it up here now.
Probably will be, yeah.
Supposedly the last leprechauns are meant to be up where Jenny is, up near like Dundalk. So there's like supposedly 250, and there's this man that speaks to them. So
Has anybody ever seen one?
He has, and actually, I think he was on Morning AM.
Yeah, I've seen the man that's seen the leprechaun.
He brought one on live with him.
I saw that. He did in a bag, Louise. He did in a bag. He brought. I saw that show and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. But he has his he has a leprechaun museum and everything, and he has like the skeletons of one and the outfit of one. Right. And he's the seventh son of a seventh son, and so he can see them, but other people can't. And he's
got clothes belonging to them too, hasn't he?
Yeah, and the little people, so he can see them, but no one else can. Where is this museum, Lulu? Is it up in the Dundalk?
It's called the Leprechaun Museum. It's in Carlingford, but they're meant to supposedly this is what he says, that the last bunch of them are living in the mountains there.
Yeah, I think we should go.
Aye, the two of you should go. I'll come over.
They do leprechaun hunts as well, and there's actually a sign, so we should get the sign, take a picture, and it's done from the EU.
I've been to that place. I've been to that place where you do that. It's in the forest, and you have fairy trees, and that. Literally stunning. Have you been? It's up in Carnarvon, and it's like a fairy trail, and you have these little doors, and you have the trees.
Wild Bill from Atlanta.
That's Wild Bill. How's Wild Bill? Wild Bill. We'll be on the show soon. We've been talking the other night.
Aaron Firehorse. Yeah, seventh son of a seventh son. Yeah.
Leprechauns are kind of like fictionalized in TV and stuff as little characters with like a wee green jacket on and funny like ears and stuff like that. But what did they actually look like? What did they actually look like?
Described?
Similar,
so that is what they look
like menacing, you know, like as in a bit scary.
They're meant to be quite looking stern.
There's like about a leprechaun is one with a pint of Guinness. Or one that has teeth on it from that bloody American movie that they made the leprechaun out to be like this crazy person. Yeah. I'm sure they can get like that if you kind of like, take the pot of gold.
Well, there's good and bad in everything, every species. So there'll be good leprechauns as well.
Yeah.
See, it's very interesting that you should do an investigation looking for the lost leprechauns. I can see it now. Emerald Isles Paranormal.
You see, there's a respect thing, though.
If people want to, you can look up on Google. I know they're protected. This is now, guys. They're protected by the EU.
There's a kind of respect.
It's a natural sanctuary type. Yeah. Just Google it. There's a sign. Jenny, we'll try and find that sign and put a picture up of it.
I'm going to Google that.
It's protected by the EU. The people of Carlingford went and fought for it and got the land protected. And it actually says of little. I think it says something about little people.
Right.
So yeah.
I'm looking at.
Yeah, do.
It's one of those cultures as well that you just kind of leave alone, like the fairies. Let them be there and do what they want. And don't go hunting for them because they can't turn you.
There it's there. Oh my god! The leprechauns leprechauns. The power of Surrey. Leprechauns are protected species under the European law. My god! Thanks to a major lobby that came out about because above mentioned celebrations of leprechauns at Callerford, Louth. Leprechauns have.
Well,
leprechauns have been protected since 2009 and a European directive. My God.
Christopher's asking, don't the bagpipes attract the spirits?
I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure because it's very Celtic. It's Celtic and Scottish, so it all resembles to be more or less the same. But I am myself and Louise are going to start doing leprechaun tours, 150 per tour.
But now
we're going to Colin.
Oh, you make it 250. Cover damages, you know.
We're going to start doing leprechaun tours in Hollingford. You know, hit us up on Emerald Isle or YouTube and, you know, book your place. Going fast.
Yes, and for a
Scottish
special time only, some people from Scotland will go over and dress as leprechauns and will jump out behind
No,
trees.
I'm not be going to take the mickey out of them and have them haunt me forever.
Yeah.
That is a job for Alan.
Alan, if you're watching, we need you to be a leprechaun.
Well, there is a certain day like that. They all go out and they go hunting off with these leprechauns.
They
and
do.
That's bad. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Let them live in peace if they're
But
there.
I tell you now, and I'm going to say, like, a friend of mine said this to me, so I'm not saying it for myself, but a friend of mine said it to me that when they were kind of going by a bus full of American tourists, yes, I'm going to say American tourists. I'm sorry, America, but I'm not talking about you. Is that, you know, somebody said, do you know any leprechauns? Do you know any leprechauns? You know, leprechauns. And it's like, yeah, like, you know, up here, like, you know, €50. And they paid this guy €50 to go on a leprechaun hunt with them.
Shit. Times are tough.
Times are tough, but you never know. I could be wrong, and they could be right.
They could have seen one,
you know.
for all you know.
Exactly.
That's that. I'm going to put a sign up saying hunting haggis. We could go and hunt the haggis, you know.
Let's go hunt the haggis. I seen one last week.
Look, I'm sorry to say this, but there is gullible people out there that would fall for the let's go and look for leprechauns. I'm going to say this right now. There is people out there that would fall for that. I mean, I've seen tourists. I see them up this way all the time with their 3 cameras around their necks and their other gear on and their Caribbean.
When I stayed at New Lanark, you've seen them all the time.
But you never know. They could be real. But like fairies, you don't see them. They're just probably one of these myths that it's like, I was going to say about Bigfoot, that you hear about them, people believe in them, but don't see them. So fairies and leprechauns could be the same thing. It's just each.
There's definitely a different environment. I see.
Yeah, different nationalities or something.
Yeah. I will say this: with Bigfoot comes in, or Sasquatch, or whatever you want to call it, I do think there is something.
There's
something there.
I never say
I think that as well. Yeah, definitely a different dimension they're living on, or something.
Well,
when you go,
if you want me to, I can move on to about the elemental because it is quite interesting. The more I was reading about it,
please.
So it's actually linked as well to aliens and interdimension stuff as well. So I was like, go on, the druids, you know, very woke at the time. So yeah, it was very interesting. So anyway, okay, I'm like Jenny, I wrote this stuff down because I wouldn't be fluent in this stuff.
We're not history experts, we just know what we know, yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, Irish elemental spirits is a non-human spirit made up mostly of energy from one of the elements, which is kind of obvious there now what we're saying. But anyway, elementals generally can be seen as helpful or harmful to humans. They lack any human moral code, right or wrong. So anyway, they're linked, of course, to the Irish druids. Were known to conjure the elemental through their rituals to either protect an area or cause destruction. So this is kind of linked as well, of course, with, you know, Lep Castle and things like that as well. So traditionally in Irish culture, there were 7 elements that corresponded to the human body. So the first one was earth, and that was linked to physical body. Number 2 was the sun, which is linked to the face. Number 3 is the sea, which is linked to blood. Number 4 is cloud, and that's thoughts. Number 5 is wind, which is breath. 6 is stone, which is bones. And 7 is the spirit, and that's the life force. So I'll just quickly go through them for you. Just so basically, earth, you can, like that you were saying there, you were going into the forest and things like that. They generally dwell there near plants, trees, rocks, minerals. They're also found in forests and caves. They range from helpful to mischievous to threatening towards humans. And then they say negative features: fear of being buried alive, fear of leaving the house. That's if their presence, that's what they would say, that you'd get these things. Yeah. So that was for the earth one. So now we're going Daddy Long Legs one. He's probably part of the fairies. He's having to listen in.
Say hi.
I hate these things, man.
I released one a few days ago. I love Daddy Long Legs.
Yeah, the rest.
Liam hates him.
I love Daddy Long Legs.
So right, the air element has power over clouds, snow, wind, gases, and the negative features impulses to jump from high places and commit violent assault on people.
Wow.
So number 3 is fire. So have power over flame and smoke, and then it's often appearing as a glowing orb or fire. Can lead people astray. So like that, you could be in the forest, but you see anyway, like that, the orb. And then the negative, of course, is obsession with fire and objects catching fire. So number 4 is water. Of course, they dwell near streams, rivers, lakes, sea, ponds, wells, and they're associated with fogs, rain, and mist. And the negative stuff around them is obsessed with water, and then, of course, drowning and things like that. People being tempted to go into the water, like being lured in.
Yeah.
These next 2 I thought was interesting. So a spirit one is number 5, made up of soul or spirit material rather than earth material, comes from one of the other worlds into this dimension.
Wow.
That was interesting. And then the next one, number 6, is space. It says not of the earth at all, but comes from outside of Earth's atmosphere. Often mistaken as angels or aliens. They come from another world or plane of existence. They are neither good or bad, but simply do what is bidden of them.
You raised eyebrows when you said about not from this world.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Interesting. Dakota will be sitting watching this and finding this interesting.
I just thought, you know the way like sometimes you get strange stuff coming up on the spirit box and things like that. Like maybe it's an elemental or something like that we're getting through to.
Definitely.
You know?
The elementals are definitely around.
Yeah.
See, I think that's what's in the Witches' Woods, the haunted finders always goes back to. I feel it's elementals that's at the beginning of the forest warning people, because you do get good elementals as well.
Yes.
That's what I think it is. It's them warning people to stay back.
I actually think the one in Lep Castle is protective, and I think he was there to protect it. And I think Mildred, when she was there, she was doing seances and things like that, you know, nuanced stuff at the time. And I think she disturbed him and angered him because, like that, he was there to protect.
Absolutely, because there was so much fighting and family fighting within Lep Castle. And I know a team that was there before, and they showed me a picture this year, only a few months ago, when they were in Lep Castle in the banquet room, and they took a picture up at the balcony, and they said they would never go back. I seen this picture, and it kind of got me thinking, like, it was too. It was too good that even I was thinking
too good.
Yes, my thoughts, and they said they would never go back after that night. This picture was phenomenal, and I was thinking, like, my first thought was, I need to go back. That's the gobshite in me. I need to go back. I need to go back. And we do. Sorry, Lulu.
Oh no, just want to say, sorry, just one more thing. Just what you're saying about the pictures and things. There was one more elemental that they were saying. It was called the artificial elemental, and they were just saying they are generally created by the thoughts of a human that has taken on a life of its own. So they are created when a person becomes obsessed with an idea, a person, or an object. This is a conscious thought form, creation, and is technically a type of magic. So traditionally, Druids practice of creation an entity for a specific purpose. So like that Lep Castle, and it says, infuse it through mental visualization and give it basically a life of their own with its own vital energy. So basically is
that no kind of going down the lines of like a topa? Going down the lines of like a topa, where if you believe that there's, like, say there's an entity with 10 arms and 5 heads, you believe that to the extent it comes alive. If enough people believe in that. That's quite interesting. That really is interesting.
I've heard about it a few times, been brought up about spirits and people's energies nearly creating a spirit and things like that. And I do think that's kind of interesting. I know some people don't believe in that, but I actually think there's a lot more stuff to do with energy that we don't know.
Yeah, I feel as if some traumatics happened that builds its own energy and it transforms into something as well.
Yep.
People like serial killers, houses and things, there's definitely got to be something that forms out that energy if you don't go in and cleanse it.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like as if you go to Loch Ness Monster. Let's bring the Loch Ness Monster up. A lot of people don't realise that Loch Ness has got multiple ley lines running right through it.
Yeah.
That's where Alistair Crowley built his house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because he used to do like his type of he used to do his magic there. And that's what they actually think Loch Ness Monster is. Maybe they believe enough people go there and believe that there's a monster there, right? It comes alive. The energy there makes itself shown itself as a monster.
Yeah, because that was saying it can be visualized. So like that, Jenny, seeing it in the picture and things like that. If people are feeling like it's there and they're taking pictures, is it being created on that? That's where I find it interesting as well.
Possible.
You know, like the old image.
Possible, so that's possible.
Yeah. And old tape as well, like getting connected.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Leap Castle, you and Jenny have been there so many times. I mean, Leap Castle is one of the most beautifulest castles in the world.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Leap Castle.
I would love to go there too. I mean, it's absolutely, it's just ridiculously.
I think the first time when I went to it, it was kind of like, I'm here. You know, these people were talking about, I'm having a cat in my kitchen. I bet you the cat's on my fish and I'm going to put my... Sorry, I can just hear the cat.
Do you want to go mute and see your fish is okay?
Sorry, I just screamed at the cat. But the first time I went to Left Castle, it was kind of like, I just shouted at the cat. It's okay, Jessica, my daughter's in the kitchen.
Oh, good.
I just thought the cat was at the fish. No. It's okay, thank you. I'm still on live, thank you. Anyway, sorry about that interruption. Okay. Family member.
That's fine.
Good. Anyway, the first time I went to Lep Castle, it was kind of like blew me away that this is what I've watched on TV. And then the more times we have gone to Lep Castle, and the first experience was not that great. I was with a group of people that just ruined it for me. It was not great, but outside of being there was great. The second time, and every time I've been there was because of Emerald Isle. So I always made sure, you know, be Emerald Isle when you go there, and that's the only way to do it. And every time I've been to Lep Castle, you walk in, the fire's lit, you talk to Sean, you know, it's kind of like he goes, "You're moving in, Jenny?" And I'm like, at one point, I'm like, "Oh my God, you remember me?" There's so many teams go in and out of that castle. But when he said that, I was like, "Oh my God," I felt special because he remembered me. I'm moving in, Jenny. So it was a nice thing because I work hard and, you know, get there all the time, and I bloody do work hard. And, you know, we sit and we talk, and then you just you learn the castle. You learn the castle. You learn the people in it. And what about you, Lulu? When your first time when you went to Lep Castle? Because I know I've been there. My first experience. What about yours?
I think I kind of said it to you before. It was very interesting, full of energy. I think you would, whenever you go there, that's what I get from it. It's such a high energy. Yeah. You know, and when I was looking up about the elementals, they were saying that they're linked, of course, with the energy stuff and things like that. So maybe I was feeding off his, and little did I know I did. I think I experienced him, the elemental, because I think I told you that story that the guy was. He was saying he was channeling in some spirit called Tig, but what I saw was a skeletal looking man with skin coming off him, and he just showed a crown on his head, but he looked like a skeleton.
Right.
And I, now in research, looking up the stuff, and I didn't know about the elemental at the time, so I think that was him.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I think he was there that time as well. Remember when I got it on the video camera of the door shutting? Yeah. I heard this like noise. Like he was talking into my ear, and that's why
noise there.
So I think he was there saying his like hellos, you know.
Would you?
Mind
oh, on you go.
Go no.
I was just saying I don't mind them.
No, all I was going to say was, what do you think the elemental thinks of all these ghost hunters coming on?
I'd say if he's been created to protect the place, I'd say he knows by their energies, and I'd say he can sense if someone is being genuine or not. But
yeah.
See,
I feel they're more there to make sure that people with attachments don't leave their attachment. I feel that a lot of these things that protect an area is because ghost hunters and things walk in there with things attached to them that they don't even know is there.
Yeah.
So these elemental spirits, guardian spirits, are probably there to make sure that when you come in that place with your attachments, you're going back out with them. You know?
Yeah.
You're not leaving them behind.
Yeah.
I agree. And it's the same even with the bloody chapel. And like, I'm sorry, just getting back to what Louis was saying about the door opening, the door closing. We had came from a long night in Redwood Castle the night before. So then we were doing Lep Castle, because all we ever do in Ireland is just go from castle to castle. That's all the business we have is just castle to castle.
What are we like?
Oh, the Americans will be jealous.
Yeah.
All right. But then we were doing Lep Castle the next, and then so Lou was, Lou and her camera. I tell you, that girl has it out because she's not stupid. She knows to have it running when we're going.
I need to have one here.
I know. It's like me and the recorders. I have my recorder out straight away. It's like Lou has her camera out straight away. The two of us are kind of like,
on it.
Having a conversation. We're kind of like, well, we work hard and we bloody play hard, but we kind of get the job done, if that makes sense. So Lou, I'm sitting at, you'll see in the camera now when she has the long video, but I'm sitting at the fireplace just kind of like on my phone, And Louise is there with her camera going around, and then you can hear, do you know, every time I hear you go, oh, it reminds me of the woman when she threw over the necklace of the Titanic.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But I got it right because I'd heard.
Every time I hear that, it reminds me of the woman of Titanic. It was like something, and I'm like, and do you know what? I cheer more when Louise's cat balls go off, and I cheer more when she gets something in her because she's all about
shiny balls.
I got my new balls in the other day. I got my new cat balls in the other day.
Flashy balls.
I like playing with my balls.
I tell you, she just, the camera, and I was kind of like, go on to Louise. And it wasn't what she got. It was kind of like she got something just because I wanted for Louise. If that makes sense. And that she got something. And then when her cat balls was going off, I remember in a museum, and she was literally dancing on the floor around the cat ball and didn't go off. We all sat down at the table away from it, and then went off. She goes, oh, there you go. There you go. Because one of the balls went off when we were all sitting back at the table. And I have that in audio. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So the ball went off, and I'm like,
your cat balls. I will say this. The cat balls are brilliant, because it was actually what sold it for me was when we went back to that church. That church we went to about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Drew was doing a thing with the ghost box and stuff like that. And Drew had sat the cat balls on top of a table, and they were standing well away from it. Well away from it. And then all of a sudden it just started to flash. And I turned the camera around, I panned the camera at it.
And it's such a simple thing, isn't it? Just a little ball.
Yeah.
I think curiosity got the better of the spirit, and because our backs were turned, they touched it, and we just so happened to turn round and get
perfect.
Ancient spirits seen these 3 plastic-looking balls and thought, "What is this?"
Yeah. It's madness. I love when the comment goes off of Lulu, because even though, and like, I love the audio work. I love EVPs. That's my jam. That's my thing to do. And I know Lulu loves it as well. Lulu is very visual. Like, she would catch on video what I wouldn't catch if we were watching the same video.
Yeah.
So she's got the eyes and I have the ears.
That's it.
I got the ears. And so it works great together. And then I'm learning on video to watch what I'm watching. And then Louise just, we always correspond.
See, Christopher knows all the history and I do all the talking, so that works well because I'm terrible with history.
Cameraman.
Yeah.
Cameraman.
And I hold the cat balls.
And Alan just follows us around.
Aye, waiting for his tonic tea cake.
Oh yeah,
So
you're lovely.
I must admit, I mean, when that Leap Castle is fascinating. As it's one of the, it's I noticed a lot. I was actually looking at a thing about it the other night there, and a lot of it, some of it's fell down, some of it's in disrepair, but missing the roof. Do you think they would ever rebuild that if they had enough money?
I don't know if Sean would now at this stage of his life.
Aye.
So getting the funding though, isn't it? Because the councils and things would just say get the funding for it. So
aye, and to get it into this form of glory, I think what we have at this moment in time, and then because there was no floors when you walked into the Leap Castle, when you look up, you could see through right to the roof.
Yeah,
there was no second floor. That all had to be rebuilt, and Sean and two of his buddies did it by hand by themselves. That was they bought it, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure someone's going to know this, 1989.
Yes, Uncle Danny. Oh dear.
No.
Really?
He bought it in 1989 or 1990. And so they literally worked by favors and work and whatever. And so they rebuilt that castle onto the second and third floor. Excuse me, especially for the first floor was fine. The fireplace, which has the family's initials graved into it, which is beautiful. The fire's always lit. And I tell you, every single investigation you go there, you will always have a beautiful land. You will have hens and chickens and all there, and cats, which I love.
So I'm going.
I tell you, and then
I think just like because we're talking about folklore as well, isn't it? It's just a real good character of
it's so nice. You have a full fresh breakfast fried made for you the next morning. Anne being Sean's wife, you couldn't get a nicer lady. The two of them would come out with a fully cooked fried breakfast, and you just pick off the plates what you want. Fresh orange juice, tea, coffees, toast galore. It adds to a lot of
good for that alone.
It adds to a lot, especially after a long night. Whether you sleep in the bloody chapel, whether you sleep in the banquet room, whether you sleep in the first floor, there's a lot to it. So it is definitely, you just don't come and stay in a castle and go home cold and tired and hungry. You're fed. The fire is lit.
Yeah, so, that's what I did like. I seen that in your video. I've been watching your videos on Emerald Isles Paranormal, and the fire looks absolutely fantastic.
The fire's lit, the food is made, the tea is there, the coffee, and then you get
the spirits will love that.
They are lovely to sit and talk with you, because you will, they say, how was your night? And then so you can have a conversation with them about their home of your night. And I know a lot of people care about the price, whatever, but it's Leap Castle. You get a lot into it.
It's an old castle.
For what you get a lot. I've been going there for many years. So,
what did they experience? Because they about to experience living there all the time.
Yeah, they do experience. They do. They just live with them.
Yeah.
Do you think that the elemental
they'll be used to each other? They'll live on a balance now. They'll probably not even notice it anymore.
Do you think that the elemental in there is basically like, all right, they're the winners, I'll leave them alone? Kind of thing.
I think Sean and his wife were so calm and respectful of the place and really enjoy. Like, I think the elemental's 100% then with them, because he's like,
100%. Because it's home. Yeah. It's their home. It's their home now. And then when you go in and sometimes, say Sean, his whistle, he's a very famous musician. He plays in Australia, Canada, Galway, Ireland, UK. He's a very famous musician. And so you ask him, I remember I had one lady on my team before, and she used to do Irish dancing, but she used to play the tin whistle. The two of them played the tin whistle on one night. And it was just amazing to see, it was nice to see the two of them playing the together. And the music. I have videos of it where, even when I go through the videos and you're literally toe tapping yourself. And because the music is
I'm there thinking, beautiful. Jenny, whenever we all go back, is try with music, Irish music, and play it out and have it as a trigger object.
We're back in January. We're back on the
would have been used to the banquets. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, Lulu. We're back. I'm trying to think there. We're back on the 31st of January.
Yeah.
Philip Castle. Yeah, and we'll have a guest with us that we can't talk about.
That's right.
We can't talk about until, we're taking a guest. A guest is coming over to us for 2 different castles on the same weekend. So we're going to burn him out. And he's never been to Ireland before, so we're going to burn him out. God bless him.
Yep.
But
He's in for a treat, I must admit.
He
He's
really
in for a
is.
treat.
He really is. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Lulu, when we go back there, we'll do Irish music.
Yeah.
Of Sean, maybe Sean's music, because Sean has his CDs downstairs. He sells his seashells.
Does he?
I thought you were going to say something else.
I was about to say she sells seashells on the seashore, but he has a CD. He has CDs downstairs that you can buy, so we can play one of them upstairs, and maybe in a CD player that we can play it upstairs in the banquet room and so on. I will say the banquet room is a room I will never, ever, unless someone is very brave, but I'm not the one to do it, stay in it by themselves, especially a female.
I'll stay in it.
A female would be the one that a female.
Why? What happens?
I'm just afraid of the spiders, that's all. So that's what I say.
Please, well, I'm not getting in there. No spiders. No.
Yeah.
Bug spray.
No, I don't mind the spiders. Oh, there's my girl Chantel. I love Chantel from South Africa.
I hate when they touch me. I'm fine with them on a wall, but no, if they're going to touch me. No.
I chased them round about the house with a cordless Dyson.
Chantel's coming back. She's coming back to me. She has to come back to me.
I'm fine unless they touch me, and I'm nope. I
think the banquet room is a very malevolent room. It depends on who goes there, and a lot of teams I think that has been there would find it malevolent.
Right.
I find it from the audio that I've gotten from that room. Let me tell you, and it's not audio that I've ever put up. It's audio that I would send to you privately. If you want to hear it, I would send it to you privately and explain to you what it was and what it meant and what's being said. There is a name given. I've never had a female name given before, apart from this piece of audio. Lulu, when we went back the last time, I was calling out for that same name.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. But we're going back again in January. So when we did call out for that female, we were off live because we didn't want to do it on live, because we replayed the audio in the room so they can hear their own voices. And so that's why we didn't do a live on that. And then after that, then we did a live. So when we go back again, we'll be doing the same thing, where we won't be doing a live on that, but I will send it on to you privately, that you can hear it.
I'd like to hear that.
It's something that can't be put up right now, but I'll talk about it. I know it's probably people like, Jenny, what is it? I can't say it. I'm sorry. I can't say it until I know when I can say it.
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder why one part of the castle's really bad like that, but the rest of it's kind of nice.
I think it's because that was the banquet room. Like, there's so much energy, and also, the oubliette. Yeah, I think they kind of fell, and they were like able to kind of, while they were dying.
Right, the energy would go in that room.
Yeah, Drew, I thought I just saw someone behind you.
Probably.
Aye.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, sorry, I'm totally laughing at Chantel. Coming to Ireland depends on Jen. Did you remove the spider and her babies? There was a spider in my room on the ceiling that had babies.
Oh goodness!
I don't mind them. I don't mind. They're called cellar spiders, so they don't do anything. So I just let her have her babies and do your thing. Go around the house if you want to. And yes, I do.
I'm afraid if I get the Dyson. I can let them go. I take them outside and open the wee hatch, and then they scurry away, and then I shut the door.
That's okay. But I just, the spiders the spiders are now gone because they've walked around, and I don't know where they are. But I did see a giant one on my ceiling last night. But I just said, you stay in your place and I stay in mine. We're good. But Chantel, the spiders are not there anymore. The mum is gone. The babies are gone.
I wonder why we have a fear of spiders. Like, is it something that's like maybe aliens that look like spiders and we don't like them or something, and we have it in us or something?
I know.
Spiders, it reminds us of them.
See, that's the thing. I think it's because of their eyes and their legs and their kind of fangs and how the movies have portrayed them. I've got a friend and
It's the way they move.
rears. I've got a friend and he keeps tarantulas, right? And he says to me one day, I was in the house, and he says to me, he says, "Do you want to hold my pet tarantula?" And I'm like, "No." "Oh, it'll be fine." And I went, "No." And he had a big cage, and it was just a big log inside this like tank.
Yeah. You pick it up.
I'm like, hacking right up to it. It's like, "Oh, you have to turn the light on for them to come out." And he flicked this ultraviolet blue light on, and the big thing come crawling out. You can see its eyes all lighting.
They're not bad. I would have one.
Give me a ghost or a spirit anytime.
I'm like, ghost is here. Hello.
I'm going to get a pet tarantula.
Right.
That's the thing. The thing with spiders is, when have you ever heard in the UK someone dying a house spider?
Yeah.
You
see the
Maybe
bananas?
they've got a fright fell down the stairs. Maybe that.
Yeah.
But they're actually meant to be good for your
bananas.
house. They're actually meant to be really good for your house.
But
see the big spiders?
Yeah, the little house
They eat other
spiders.
They are. I mean, even the cellar spider that I have in my room that had babies, her body is tiny and her legs are long but skinny. But when I zoomed in, it made it look big. And then her nest of spiders were like huge, but they weren't. It was the light of my lamp against my ceiling. But what she would do, she will eat the bigger spiders that come along, or the flies.
That's what happens.
She's small. I leave them as they are. I don't mind spiders. I'll have like 10 more. I'm thinking of getting some jumping spiders as pets.
It's coming up to the autumn, and this is when you'll start seeing the spiders, because the male spiders come in looking. Because the male spiders come in looking for a girlfriend, and then once the girlfriend's had her way with him, she kills them and eats them.
She will eat them. Yeah, I like it.
People don't realise that, but that's what happens. And then other little wee baby spiders come out. Was that my daughter's
stuck in her sleeping bag, and it bit her around 10 times on her ankle. Her foot swelled to the size of her head. I freaked out.
Wow, you're in Canada, aren't you?
I've got friends that stay in Australia where the spiders would kill you.
Chantal, seeing them is fine. The problem is when you don't see them anymore. I can't find the big spider anymore. But you know what?
Underneath the bed.
Yeah.
I remember one night I was falling asleep, right? And I had my mobile phone.
You're lying a lot.
And I fell asleep. And something lit up the light of my mobile phone. And so I kind of woke up and I could see these like long, it was the spider, but I could see these long legs coming down. And I was like, okay, one, I can either hit you hard, or two, I ended up going, blowing it back up to the ceiling so it could go back into where it was. So I was blowing the spider back up to the ceiling because it was coming down onto my pillow. So I ended up blowing the spider.
So is that theory right?
Spider.
Or whatever it is.
I blew the spider. That sounds really bad now, and I need to say it really fast. I just kind of like, I was kind of like blowing the air up into the spider. So the spider back up into the
air. With the pillow.
What?
I had it with the pillow.
No, I was kind of like, I'm trying to do it behind my microphone so they can't see me go.
Or let it land on the phone and go ping.
I've got one that lives in my car door mirror, my driver's side door mirror. It comes out and it nibbles the flies, then goes away back in.
Yeah, you don't mind him because he's outside.
Yeah, he's outside.
They've loads of land outside.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. When you're lying tucked up in your bed tonight and you feel something slowly crawling across your skin, it's fine. It's fine. It's just a big black spider with 8 eyeballs.
Yeah.
I've got Annika powder in my room that they don't near my bedroom or Liam's.
There was one in here the other night. I don't know where he's went to.
He's
probably been eaten. He's probably met a girlfriend. She's probably met him to know.
What is probably thinking? Oh my God, they've only got 2 eyes and 2 legs. Oh my God, they're weird. So they're more afraid of you than they are of them.
Mm-hmm.
So see, this is the thing. When Lula goes back to Leap Castle, she'll be getting into her one-man sleeping bag and she'll be stealing it up and sitting inside.
I kind of do.
Now, the
wherever we go, I'm like,
Louise will never let me tell the story ever about Redwood Castle. She won't let me. And I won't say it. Remember the spider in the bathroom, Louise?
Yes, I tried to get eliminated.
How did you do it, Louise? And how did I undo it?
Well, I told her he's fine. Or she probably, because it was huge. Basically, there was a massive spider in the bathtub and I got the water and I was like, no. So we went down the drain and I put the lid on, but I knew he's still alive. But Jenny goes, no, you have to rescue it. And I said, Jenny, he's still alive. He's fine. No, you have to rescue it. And of course, anyway, she lifts up the thing and he goes out.
And I took it by tissue and I let it outside the window. So I read. So I didn't.
You can't just come back in again.
Just have run the water and it would have went down.
It would have drowned.
I've had bad experiences. They always come back.
It's a spider.
I rescued it outside the window.
Oh, do you know you can make spider oil?
What?
For banishing. Spider oil.
Don't say that. Don't sell it on.
How do you make that out, Cassie?
Don't sell it on.
Make millions off that.
You get dead spiders and put them in oil and let the body of the spider seep into the oil. Then you use the oil and spell work.
Is that to expel spiders or people?
No, it's to expel people.
I don't use the bodies of spiders, though.
Yes, you use the body of spider.
No, I don't want to do that, though. I'll use something else.
I've just had a seed in my head, like a big cauldron bubbling away. And dropping stuff into it. The big bubbles.
Yep, Lady Grave Dancer.
Making weird noises.
Make spider oil. The Lady Grave Dancer will watch.
Like the same with Sherry, I put them outside. So I know when Louise said, and it was very funny, and she wouldn't let me into the bathroom and Redwood Castle. And I'm like, let me in. So I went in and I said, let me pick up this plug. She goes, no. And then she would grab me and I'm like, no. I picked it up and there was a spider. I'm like, oh my God, it's gone. The spider just crawls out. And she goes, she was like, oh my God. And she screamed and she ran out. So I just picked the spider up by tissue and just kind of let it outside the window. Oh, did I, Louise? Did I let it outside the window?
Did you put it in your pillow?
Did I? No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, it would be sayonara.
Well, actually, here's something that's going to make you all freak out the night and you're going to go to sleep. Is it true that the average person eats
no,
4
it's
or
not.
5 spiders?
I've looked it up. It's not true.
Oh, isn't it?
No, it's not.
You were going to say that.
No. I did wake up and there was one on my lips one time and I was like, ah!
Well, one was near my face, so kind of like it's close to it's close.
Depending on where you stay, maybe.
Huh?
Depending on where you stay, maybe. But
I know one was on Lou's lips, one was beside my pillow, like to my face. So I don't know. Could we have?
You can tell Sherry like spiders. Don't you worry, Sherry. You'll be fine tonight. I promise.
Just put a mouth.
Just trying to think, is there any other things?
Put a mask over your mouth, Sherry.
We'll go back to leprechauns, please.
Okay.
Aye, let's
I had one about a puka. It's the shape.
That'll do.
Yeah. Get us going. Shape changer. Did you have any more as well, Jenny? It's only quick and sweet, basically.
I'm going to be back in 1 minute. I'm going to be back in 1 minute, but you keep going. We're going to be back in a minute.
So it's a puka, or it's spelled Pooka, or as Pu Fada CA. So it's a shape changer, and it says it's one of the most feared creatures in Irish mythology and folklore. So according to Irish stories, they were said to bring either good or bad fortune to those who saw them, and were particularly feared around times of harvest. So I think these are kind of reported. You would hear these kind of all around the world, wouldn't you? It says they're usually seen as a form of a wild dog with red eyes. According to Celtic mythology, they were often written as evil and bloodthirsty. However, there are also tales of them warning humans of accidents or being harnessed as protection. So I was thinking like Mothman or something like that. But
you've just got different names, haven't they? It's the same basic stories, but they've got different names.
Yes.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been loads of tales, like animals seen, especially dog-looking creatures with red eyes. A lot. Okay, I mean, and it's weird that because you don't really hear you don't ever hear it happening like kind of like a city, do you? It's always been in the countryside. You ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Which is, unless of course it's demonic, and you could do the demonic line. You like maybe a house haunting or something like that. Well, that's different. That's different altogether, because that's obviously a demonic kind of entity.
It's always interesting that they turn up just before something major happens in a lot of these cases. So that's interesting. As if, are they warning people, or are they the cause? You know?
Yeah. And what really are they? Like, that was just a quick synopsis that I got. Like, I didn't delve into it too much, because then I started looking up about the elemental, and I was like, oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
So I got a bit sidetracked.
Astro's an elemental. Uncle Danny's astral friend. He's an elemental. He's a fire elemental.
Oh.
So is Aura, Sister Sherry's guardian. They're at fire elementals.
As Sherry says in the chat, there'd be with PWI spiritual investigators, messengers. So maybe it's just everybody's heard of the Mothman, and then the bridge collapsed where all the people were killed, and then there was like when September the 11th came along, there was sightings,
a few things,
strange
big storms and things,
and big storms and stuff like that. Maybe these are creatures that are maybe old, and they're trying to warn people. But obviously it's not really working out. They're just folk are remembering these.
Because man's too busy now to look. Yeah.
Do you know what I just thought was a bit weird? I only got to watch, where they were talking about, aliens and the spacecrafts and things like that. And I noticed what was funny with your man. He wasn't giving too much away with some stuff, but he didn't. It was like he was inclined that it was like interdimensional stuff.
Yeah.
And like the stuff what I was reading about there today about the elementals and things like that, they're meant to come from different dimensions. I don't know. I'm just wondering, is it like, Stranger Things? Is it something he was kind of more, from what I was gathering, he was trying to say to me, it's more interdimensional than more so space.
Is
it the sea?
Like,
I don't know. Anyway,
alien races out there.
I'm not here in a different realm.
But I'm wondering, is this where maybe these creatures and things are coming from?
Yes, that's what they think.
Because they share the space with us as well. It's just that they don't share the space with us, if you know what I mean. It's different dimension. It could be.
In theory, right now, Jenny could have 10 aliens standing behind her, right? Because of the different
No.
20, 30, 40. But there's different dimensions, there's different frequencies, and there's different dimensions. So there could be, it's like the afterlife is just a different dimension. So when you die, you leave this reality and travel to that reality, right? And then you can come back and whatever.
That's exactly the best way to put it. It's like dimension.
It's interdimensional, like Sherry says. It's like there's extraterrestrials out there that come, and it's been proven, and you should look it up. It's really interesting, the UFO stuff. The US government have said this, and this is all the stuff that they've been released. 90% of the UFOs that they've encountered are not from space.
Yes.
They're from here, but a different reality.
That's the one.
I think that's why they're hiding so much. Because they can't tell people that it's not just above, it's in and out.
It's everywhere.
It's not just mind-blowing. Sorry, Lulu. It's not just mind-blowing to even comprehend that there's something years ahead of us, but not up there, but here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when a friend of mine, Tracy, was saying, like, what happens if, Jenny, if we're the ones who are dead and they're the ones who is investigating? No. And I remember saying to Tracy one night, and I said, Tracy, we're just kind of cracking onto the EVP of the best of audio.
Well, here's
one thing at a time.
Here's one that's going to disturb you, right?
Oh, Lord.
Here's one that's going to disturb you, right? And it's going to disturb you, but it's not what you think it is. Scientists have figured out, and this is actual truth. This was done in the 1960s, 1970s. This was top scientist stuff, and it was actually for the presidential. It was a science thing. Dots will probably be able to help me in the chat. That they've figured out that, see, this reality that we're in right now is a simulation.
Oh my gosh!
Right, so just listen to me. But that's a good thing because then there's a career, right? But look how technology is going right now. How our technology is going on right now. We've everybody's played GTA 5, right? But eventually, the new software that's coming out is making the bots in that game. It's making the bots in that game aware. But there's going to come a point in the next 5 years, the next 10 years from now, where those bots in that game start to, well, ask questions. Who am I? Where am I from? Who made me? See where I'm going with this kind of thing.
It's freaky.
But I'm not saying that we are not real. We are real, right? We exist. The world is made stuff. It's made with yes.
Would it be like that movie with Jim Carrey? Sorry for interrupting you, Chris. That movie, Jim Carrey. What was the name of that movie, Jim Carrey, where he was being watched?
Truman.
Yeah.
Truman Show. It's like it's not just the Earth. It's like reality itself. It's like how can I say this? It's all the galaxies, all the universes that exist were created.
But it's just
by something.
It's interesting, like when we're doing ghost hunting, and they say the high frequencies, the magnetic stuff, and like that, the spirit boxes. It's all frequency and energy related, and like I was even thinking, Jenny, like if we were to somehow have a camera that speeds up or something like that, or slows down, we see something maybe more that our eyes can't. Our eyes only process a certain amount of frames per second or something, isn't it?
And you don't ever think to speed it up when you're going back your footage.
No, it's just when I was looking at footage the other day, Drew, I was kind of thinking that, and I was going, well, like, what if there's something that's moving a lot faster, and we're only seeing maybe a bit of a shadow going by, or a bit of wind or something touching you? But
that's like, so I have video footage of that where we have something that was going by so fast in a museum we used to do. And then we slowed it down. And I will send it on to you privately. I will put it back up in the Emerald Isle page, and we can put it up on YouTube, Lulu. That it's something that it was a GoPro sitting in the the kitchen area
or something,
that hallway in the kitchen area. So it was sitting on the windowsill, and something that went by. It was like so fast. It wasn't fast enough that you'd kind of blink and you'd miss it. You would see it, but then it would slow it down, and so you could see it slowing down. So it's like a long slanted black. I don't know if I send it on to you or not, but I will do it immediately after the show tonight. I wish I knew. I could send it on to you now. I don't know if I can send it on to you now. I don't know where it is, but I mean,
great if they had a camera that could
the next one.
That kind of shutter speed or something for us. That maybe.
Yeah, I can put it on for the next show if you want. I can put that video on then. But
it's an interesting thought, look, because you could be missing so much because we just can't see at that speed.
Yeah,
you're right.
This one I will send on to Chris and Drew after this, and Lulu.
Lulu?
Yeah.
You could, in theory, you could get a camera to record, but no record what you actually see. You would have to. It would record. It wouldn't see. When we watched it, it wouldn't look like we can see each other. And it would look totally different. It'd be recording frequencies. If you get my drift.
That's
and then you could look at and then you could look at the frequencies and see what changes when say a spirit walks in front of it.
Niall to try and create something, and then with vibration.
I know.
Yeah.
I think he thinks I'm mad. But I'm like, no. I'm like, come on, Niall.
Niall is so into.
Oh, wow.
Niall is technology to. I remember the night we were in London and Lulu went to bed and myself and Niall were downstairs drinking gin and tonic, like we were smoking and drinking. And Lulu was upstairs in bed and I said, Niall, she's going to freaking kill us. She's going to kill us. Because after like 3 gins, we're still talking about paranormal. We're talking about the moon and the stars and
Niall, great conversation.
Yeah.
It was really deep. And I said to Niall, I said, Lulu's going to kill us because we're down here about 2 hours. We were talking away about the moon, the stars, the paranormal, the ghost, this, that, yourself, everything we talk about. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, all I was going to say was before I forget, because I'm getting old and the dementia's starting to work. And I'm falling apart, and my phone appeared today. It's like, so I wanted to say to Sherry in the chat, because she said about this, right? See how we're talking about different dimensions. see what they've actually found out is that when you die, you leave this existence, which is artificial, but it's artificial to whoever made it. It's not artificial to us, but we wake up in a different reality. But that reality could be artificial. You see where I'm going with this? And then the next reality could be every existence has ever been.
Chris, that sounds
be.
tiring, doesn't
I
it?
was literally, I was ready
It's
to
just
go,
a bit
But
much
it's no.
to get the brains
Like,
around it.
oh my god.
I'm too
But
tired.
it's like if you go back, it's like when you go back to like film, like if you go back to film something, right? Say you've got a haunted room, right? And every now and again, your camera will pick up this dark shadow. Say that dark shadow you picked up in London, right?
Yes.
That you-
Oh,
but, right,
yes. Yeah, Lulu. Yeah.
you could have a special camera because there is cameras out there that could focus on that, but it wouldn't be watching it like it would be watching this. It would be like it would put in like basically it would be like, how can I say this?
would
It'd be like transmitting a frequency at it.
Infrared.
Well, that's what
Whatever
the
box
SLS
in front of you.
does. See the SLS
Ah,
on the laptop? That kind of breaks it down, doesn't it?
I find the SLS will map a lot of areas that will make it into a stick figure.
yes.
Totally.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the different.
It works.
If you look at the side of it, it does kind of break down the structure, doesn't it?
The update
It
one
does.
is supposed to be the best one.
Right.
I know when I had the SLS on the team before a few years ago, I was like, "Do your thing. I'm going to do audio. It'll just
Right.
be something I can properly document."
Yeah.
The one that's up to date now, the Fleur, I would
Yeah.
go. The Fleur,
Oh, I
I
love
would
the
definitely
Fleur.
go with.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to use the thermal more.
Sorry, Chris. Dos
I'm
was
just-
asking,
No.
can you get access to a Fleur camera? And I've just realized only last week you can hire these
Yes.
Fleur cameras out. So I'm going to hire one out for Lep Castle and Redwood Castle. So it's just like hiring a piece of equipment. It's a hire store for work.
idea.
So I'm going to hire a Fleur out.
They're very expensive.
They're very expensive to buy. I don't know how much it is to rent out, but I'm renting one out anyway for Lep Castle and Redwood Castle. So
Here's something that'll
I've
puzzle.
got one, but it's not the flare; it's the other thermal.
Which
That's the ones that you rent out the companies. Actually, I looked at flare cameras and they're very expensive. The more expensive you get, the better they are.
Yeah.
So if you rent one out,
better
it'll be
pixels.
$2,000 worth.
Mine was 350 or something, but I got it for 150.
Oh, maybe.
I've seen some that would just they were on the 250
Yes, you're close.
scale of the price tag, and it's really bloody hard to see it. It's hard to see it, and we are very, and I'm going to say it, and I always say, and people give out to me when I say it, we are so strict and anal when it comes to audio, video, visual. We are like, it takes us time to put up our stuff, but let me tell you, when we put it up, it goes up. If we don't see it, we have to second guess it, then it doesn't go up.
But I am willing to take, if anyone sees something that they think they can explain, just let me know or leave a comment or something like that, because I want to try and make sure that the stuff I'm putting out there is I can't explain. So if someone can explain it to me, happy days. Say it to me and I'll be like, right.
Before the end of the show, here's one that's going to pickle Dots in the chat. He'll agree with us. Here's one that's going to pickle your mind, and it's about different realities, right? You'll like this.
This is in Ireland, isn't it?
No. This was done somewhere in the world. I don't know where it was done. It was American, something like that. It was a scientific experiment to show you realities, right? And it's something that I watched the other night. It's quite interesting. There was scientists got a laser and they fired it down a long hallway, right?
Yeah.
It was a specially built room, right? And it went into a hole and it hot off a mirror and it split into two, right? Mm-hmm. But see, when the scientists weren't watching it with their eyes, it didn't split up.
Oh.
Okay.
Think
so
about
what
it.
Was dividing
so it's like, it's reality. It's like, are we living in a matrix? So what you see with your eyes, right, is like a game, a computer game. You're playing GTA, you're walking about, right, and whatever you look at appears, right? You see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when they shined the laser down and the scientists watched it, it bounced off into two, like it should do. But when scientists didn't watch it, when they didn't watch it with their eyes, it did not bounce off. It only did one particle.
Okay.
So
it is. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying here with the spirits and stuff and that. And when you're in Leap Castle and stuff, when you see something, like it's a different reality, you see something.
And what timing are you seeing that? That could have been long gone, but you're like a star. You're only seeing its image, like
See, like something. See, like a computer. It would be interesting to have like an artificial intelligence computer with a camera in that room to see what it thinks of what's in that room.
Yeah,
it's no human
doing that at the moment. He's doing pixels and camera stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually think though us as for doing ghost hunting, we need to be having chats more like this, as in like ideas of what way we think spirits are communicating, or what are they, or and how can we communicate more with them. Like there is our
ask the spirits. I always ask them, is there anything that we can do to help you? And when I first started, they told me amethyst and patchouli, because I had to look up what patchouli was. And that's how I started to use a bit of amethyst and some patchouli incense. And then slowly the spirits started to come through a lot easier. So they do tell you if you ask.
Yeah.
You know?
See, when you go, Jenny, when you go to Leap Castle, do you ever take any offerings?
No, we haven't done.
Oh,
why don't you this time?
We have taken to different locations. You know, like we play a game of cards, we'll bring whiskey with us. But now, and even though we're in this a long time, but we learn all the time what to bring with us and so on. So when it comes to Leap Castle, we bring toys. We have brought toys and we've brought colored cards for the children. And that went really, really well. That was a great night. Even I had a personal experience in the castle that night. And it was in August. It was at the end of August, actually, where I heard my own experience from it. So when we go back in January, then we can bring our whiskey, we can bring wine, we can bring cards to the bloody chapel,
think a bit old school, like a bit of currant cake or something, like a bit of cake that's made old school cake type things.
Yeah.
A nice vintage of an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Glenfiddich or Slane is a nice Irish whiskey.
Yes.
Goes a long way.
It's a nice whiskey. I want to ask you one more question before I think Chris is going to say when we have to leave. This is kind of gone on, still on the same topic, but off a little bit. I want to know people's opinions on something that I've written down that has kind of caught my attention about The Simpsons. I know it's totally off topic.
I know what you're going to talk about.
I know what you're going to say as well.
Yeah, what is that all about?
Predict the future.
What is that all about with the bloody blue roof? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's bloody mind-blowing and stupid at the same time. How are they doing this? And this is bad. I remember watching The Simpsons every Sunday in my friend's house, and I was about whatever age I was. But it's just, I don't know. Unless they're watching The Simpsons themselves.
I'm going to say something I want you to all go and watch after this show. I Pet Goat.
Say it again.
I Pet Goat.
I Pet Goat.
Yes.
Are you sure this is a legit site now, Chris? Yeah.
Do I need to come to Douglas and phone an ambulance for you, Christopher?
No. It's just wait a minute. I'll find it out. I'll post it in the chat. Just wait a minute.
What's it? I
Pet Goats. I Pet Goats. Did I hear that right?
There's two. I don't want to get into like the vaccine and things like that because it'll damage the channel and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do is I, and then a pet, and then a goat, and then there's 1 and 2. Watch the first one, then watch the second one.
Oh, the Lord! Really?
Yeah, and you will be shocked because
wow.
Bear this in mind, some of it was made before certain events took place.
Oh.
So yeah, there's the first one. There's musical in it, so you have to watch yourself. Just to get this here.
This is on YouTube, is it?
All right,
yeah.
okay.
I'm sending you the link.
Completely.
I'll send you the link now to. I don't know. Just give us a sec here. Multitasking.
Is that Cash
Watch the first one. Watch the first one, right? There's the link in the chat.
Okay.
Watch the first one, right? And then watch the second one. There's round about that's maybe just a wee bit quicker, that one. But if you get the full edition of it,
from 11 years ago.
Oh, aye.
No, yes. I watched The Simpsons when I was in my
You watch it backwards, it's very interesting.
I'm not doing it backwards. No, I'm not doing it backwards.
It's no, honestly, I'm honestly, there's people in the chat, I know, like Dots and stuff, that's probably seen this stuff. But just
now
watch it, Rams.
I don't know.
I'll watch it once we go off.
Yeah, I'll check it too.
Me too.
We're all gonna be like,
I'm gonna watch it now.
Something like this. What's he talking about? What's the man on about?
I was just reading your message there, Jenny. That's no.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I honestly just watch it. Just put an iPad go. If that's not the right link, it's not the right link. Just put an iPad go. Honestly, you will be shocked because there's things that happen in it the video was made before it happened.
Okay, this is another thing I'm thinking of. So when Simpsons came out and they were doing this big bubble around the world, you know, counties and blah 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 blah, and so on. I'm thinking, I get you. I'm thinking, is the government just saying let's freak the human beings out and seeing if that let's just follow the Simpsons, and they will probably think, oh, they got this from the Simpsons back in the 90s, and then to freak with our minds, or was it?
It's I don't. Nobody knows where they're getting their information from, but it's 99% right all the time.
Do you think this is what I think? The government is a crock of shit. And yes, I said that. Now I'm going to be beamed up. Hello, I'm going to be beamed up.
But it's like it's like you've got to remember a lot of these organisations, and I'm not going to go into this because I don't want the channel getting affected with this.
Gotcha.
But what I'm going to say is a lot of the people that do these things, programming Dots. Thank you. Programming is one of them, and the second one is they like to tell people what they're going to do before they do it.
Shows.
They've always done it. If you take like the dollar note, there's things on the dollar note that would shock you. There's things on the British pound note that would shock you if you fold it a certain way.
Kind of like I'm going to be really stupid when I say this. I'm going to look really stupid, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's like the celebrities saying, I'm going to be in this way, this place X, Y, Z. I'm not going to be there. And then yet people come and like, take pictures. I'm like, you're not supposed to see me. But they always give them a head all the time kind of thing.
What you think is
you see, these people never wake up because they are programmed not to wake up. There's only a few of us that'll sneak through those barriers that as awake.
Look,
the other ones will stay silent and stay asleep.
Look, I mean, about 3 weeks ago, somebody reported something on TikTok, which I'm not talking about in here. I'm not talking about you know what, and it's now starting to happen again, right? It's slowly starting to happen again. We'll talk about it after air. But Jenny, would you like? There'll be no show next Friday, guys, on Ghost Squad Scotland. There's got to be a special show on Jenny's channel. Would you like to tell everybody, Jenny?
Which channel? Mine. When?
Aye, what's that special night, isn't it? Quiz night.
Is there?
It's the 8th of September, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my God! Did I forget for a second? You see,
I was on your message.
Oh my God! Don't you should have told me that before.
The Matrix.
The wand out.
The gun. And the
Spirit
compels you.
I have to write things down because I forget things often now. So don't be doing that to me. Don't be putting me on the spot like that for crying out loud.
I was just because everybody will have to come over to your channel and subscribe.
They're
That's why
having
I've
a
been doing your
domestic
link in the
already,
chat.
guys.
I know having a domestic leave in the background. I totally no, I didn't forget, but I was like kind of like I have like a million one in mind.
It's coming to the point.
Oh, dear, dear.
Yeah.
I'm going to end up in a jar.
What's wrong, lovey? Oh my god, my daughter's back in the room. Anyway, on the 8th of September, we are having a quiz night. We are having a trivia quiz night. Not for paranormal, just for a little bit of fun, a little bit of banter.
Yep.
But the only thing you're not allowed to do is, on the people who are watching, is to give the answers out.
You're not allowed to.
So it's going to be Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers versus Ghost Squad Scotland. And I have a friend of mine, Robin Ramsey from New York.
We've enlisted the help of my mystical loving light to join us as another team member.
Yes, you do, because we have 3 in our team.
I want to go with Lou. I want to be in Emerald Isle.
Oh, you can. It's Ghost Squad Scotland against Emerald Isle.
All right, okay. Maybe next time.
So we have my fabulous friend, Robin Ramsey. She is an amazing friend of mine. I know her many years, and she's going to be the one who has the questions. I won't even know what they are. I will know nothing. I'm going to do the poster up. So there's going to be. I trust her because I know she's very strict. And she's very sassy. So she will multitude the questions up into paranormal, geography, history, religion.
I'm looking forward to it.
She's going to bring it all in. And the only thing we need is we need a little ding, ding, ding. I think Lulu, I'm going to bring a REM pod, so I have to touch a REM pod when we get an answer.
I've got a bell.
So you have to bring a bell or REM pod or whatever.
I've got one of these squeaky toys that my dog's got. She's got like a squeaky chicken.
So it's the team leaders, right? The team leaders. So say so Drew, Chris, and your friend Chris, one of you have to have the bell. Not all of us, one of you. Between me, Lou, and Niall, one of us has to have the squeaker thing, whatever I haven't.
Squeaky.
Yes. So unless we can all have it, and then our sounds will be different. We have to work through that. Unless we can all have one each of the same. REM pod, Lulu, Niall REM pod, me REM pod. So if you want REM pod, the better.
Yeah.
Chris, get yourself a bell. Your friend.
I'm going to have my rubber duck. The dog will bark. The dog will burn. Run away with my dog.
The same because we're the sounds have to be the same because we're different teams. We're just two teams, different. Yeah. The sounds have to be the same. So if anyone gives out the answers who's watching, you will be taken off. I'm going to make Robin moderator. And if you give the answers to be funny, we're going to take it off. And plus, both teams will have to cover the comment section.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. No cheating.
All we need to do is watch that. Well, I'll take a picture before, and I'll make sure that my phone isn't sitting.
Yeah, I'll put my phone upstairs or something as well.
One with the.
But we need to trust each other that we're not going
to trust each other. Say, who's the first man on the moon?
That'll be nice.
The camera's not working quite good.
There you go. Who was a man in bloody space? I'll be kind of trying to get it in.
Louise was having an argument with Google. Wouldn't you, Louise, in London?
Yeah.
I like Surrey better.
Yeah, me and Google.
You remember that? I can remember it.
Yeah. How much longer do we have in this?
It's usually Alexa.
I actually like Alexa. She doesn't mind me. It's Google.
Right.
Google. I'm going through Google, so I should be careful now. She's probably.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll just have that spine on you.
She'll talk to me later on tonight now through my phone. I swore she said something to me because I was running late for an appointment, and I thought she says you're going to be late, and I was like, "Yeah." I swore I heard she was saying something, and I was like, "You're going to be late for this appointment." She said something. Oh, if I had a
wow.
Yeah, I've
probably
heard
just
that
in my head.
before.
No stress.
You better treat me nice and buy me a nice phone case.
Yeah.
This
He's
phone
linking into
case
you
is
now.
getting
Get phone
old.
cases coming up now tonight.
I'm done.
Wow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please, the link to Emerald Isles Paranormal is below in the video, underneath the video. I've also posted it in the chat tonight. Let's get them to 1,000 subscribers before Christmas so that they can go live for the channel, guys. It makes life, it makes life so much easier. Get them monetized, so as we can give donations and stuff like that and make some money.
You don't do it. You just don't get us
to
Nile if you don't do it.
If you get to 1,000, but you don't have the 4,000 hours, can you still go live?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you still have members as well, I do believe.
Yes, and you still have members, but you can't get monetized. But let's get, you're only making about £2.90 per 1,000 views.
It's better than losing it. But I'm making it than losing it.
Perfect. You don't make much. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys behind the scenes. Everybody have a fantastic night. Oh, please come over to Jenny's channel tomorrow, Emerald Isles Paranormal Researchers, is because she has a special guest on.
Shadow Whisper the Night. Chris will be my co-host. We have Rick McIntyre, who works in the Lizzie Borden house, and he's a fantastic guy. So that's going to be at 9:30 tomorrow night. The poster is up. I will repost it. Chris is going to be my co-host. So that's going to be tomorrow night.
Cool.
Dakota's having the night having Bald and Bonkers. He's got to be, I don't know what he's got to be doing. Things that he does, I don't know. But there will be a Bald and Bonkers show on Sunday. There'll be a Bald and Bonkers show on Sunday, and we're going to be talking about the alien evidence that's been found in the sea, the parts of an alien ship that's been found. And so it's all the news. So look that up, everybody. So everybody have a fantastic night. Catch you all soon.
Blessings, everybody.
Thank you for joining us on this exciting adventure with Ghost Squad Scotland. Our team of experienced ghost hunters use the latest technology to explore the paranormal and uncover the truth about the unknown. Don't forget that we're affiliated with Spirit Shack, the UK's premier ghost hunting equipment store, so you can trust our equipment to be top-notch. Plus, we have exclusive Ghost Squad Scotland merch available on our Zazzle store, so you can show your support for the team in style. And if you can't get enough of our ghost hunting adventures, be sure to tune into the Bald and Bonkers TV network to catch our show in action. Content creators can even have their own content syndicated on the network, or create their own custom online TV channel by visiting baldandbonkers.net. Thank you for your support. And remember to always keep an open mind as we continue to explore the mysteries of the paranormal with Ghost Squad Scotland.